Hey everybody, welcome to today's Icehouse webinar. I am Bryar Stewart, the Community Manager, and today we are talking all about our customized solutions here at the Icehouse. I've got Jo and Darilyn with me to help present and unpack some of our frequently asked questions. But first of all, I thought Jo and Darilyn, why don't you introduce yourselves? Maybe Jo, you wanna start by introducing yourself.
Sure, thanks, Bryar. So my name's Jo Clayton, and I've had a long association with the Icehouse and am a director of the Icehouse's LDP program as well, the Leadership Development Program. I'm a facilitator and an advisor and an independent director, and I work primarily with private businesses and family businesses as well as my work at the Icehouse.
Yeah, awesome. So great. And yes, you have been part of the fabric for so long. So part of the family, part of the community, that's for sure. And what about you, Darilyn?
I'm Darilyn Kane, and compared to Jo, I guess I'm relatively new on the team. Nearly 6 years with the Icehouse, and then connections with them before in my role at the University of Auckland Business School. And I'm the coaching and advisory lead in our business, so I have the privilege to work with a whole group of really experienced business people and learning and development experts, and like, for example, Jo, and I work with business owners and leaders to create customised solutions to help their people to develop capability and the confidence that they need to succeed in business.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. I feel like I know you both really well. Awesome. First question we've got here is, how do these customised solutions actually work? Maybe Jo, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Well, obviously the leads come from different places, and clients come, sometimes from other Icehouse programs they've done. But generally, what we do is we actually meet with the client to try and understand what their objectives are and what they need in their business, and then we'll customise a program to actually suit that. And I say program in inverted commas because it could involve a lot of different things, including maybe some facilitated workshops. And I'll talk a little bit more about how the programs are structured maybe later. We'll try and customise something to suit them. So it could include some content areas in any aspects of the business, like customers or marketing or finance or strategy, and often includes a lot of stuff around leadership and interpersonal relationships within the business as well. We use a lot of tools and assessments as part of the process as well, and then we would kind of go back and we take a holistic approach. So we'll often have pre-work, we'll do some workshops, that'll be content, facilitated discussions, and then we provide, encourage them to do some application between workshops if there's more than one workshop going on as well.
Awesome. Yeah, anything to add?
I was just going to pick up on what Jo said. So yeah, there's a really practical focus on putting things into action for the business, and looking at what's the situation, what are the challenges and opportunities the business is facing now and in the future, and thinking about working with them to figure out what they actually need their people to be able to do, and then designing the program around that, bringing in all those things that Jo just talked about before, and putting them into an ongoing package of activity that works for the business in terms of timing and having people out in groups and things like that as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. Makes sense. How do these customised solutions complement other training that the business may be doing? Jo, do you want to start?
Well, I think with all of our customised solutions, integration is the key. So we're really used to integrating with other projects the business has got going, other training, as you said, which might be just an individual training, but we can bring that in as well. And often we are building on some sort of other program they might have attended through the Icehouse anyway, like the owners attended the owner manager program and now wants to do something within the business that will take it more broadly. And we often include project work streams as well. And then what we try and do is just, facilitate discussion to help them, as Darilyn said, to really help with application back into the business, because we want the business to be in a different place when we've finished with them than when we started.
Yeah, and I often think sometimes it's about just helping them leverage the investment in time and money as well that they might have made in training or activity already. So they've got some things they're using, or maybe some tools they're using, and it might be a matter of helping them refresh that and think about how they can put it into practice for some of the current activities and working with that as well. So as Jo said, really integrating what they've already done and making sure that they put that into practice.
Yeah.
How long typically do customized solutions go for?
There's not really a typical program, to be fair, Bryar. We've got a number of solutions that we've run for quite large customers where we actually might have more than one group going at the same time. So we might be working with the senior leadership team and the next level of managers within the business as well. And in that case, we might bring them together for some of the sessions, and we might do some individual sessions with each of the two groups. And that might go over quite a period of a few months, because we might have some workshops and then work to do or projects to do in between. Another example is where we've worked with it, just working with a senior leadership team so that they can become more effective in the way that they work together. And so that might include a couple of workshops, maybe a month apart, and then sometimes some individual coaching for people on the end as well. So again, that can take place over a number of months to fit in with their business cycle.
Yeah.
And sometimes we might kick something off, looking like a couple of workshops and just, for them to address some particular issues, and then as a result of that, we form what the next bit of activity would be. It could end up being quarterly sessions with a group, and then doing a little bit more with a couple of other larger groups in the business in between as well.
Yeah, so really what we're saying is it's very customized. Which is good. It really can be customized to each business. I love that.
Yeah.
What are the benefits what are the benefits from these customized solutions, Jo?
Well, I think that it is totally focused on their needs. So we're really interested in finding out from them what are the challenges or opportunities they're facing, and how can we better equip them to leverage the opportunities and to address any of the challenges. So we really try and zero in on where their business is at and go from there, rather than starting with a cookie cutter model and saying, you need to have all of this. So it's really, really focused on their needs. And we can include other things like projects, for example, I mentioned before. So often, that can run through the course of a customised intervention as well. And a lot of it's about development of the team, whether it's an executive team or what have you. So we want them to improve the quality of their interactions, improve their overall competence as a team, but also improve their confidence in working with one another and taking their business forward.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think that's really the main thing. So, there's lots of benefit from having an individual or a couple of people attend a training program and be exposed to what's happening in other organisations. But with customised, you can actually work on what's happening for your organisation. So you can really start to build some critical mass around achieving some of your objectives, working towards your strategy. And so you've got a group in the business that's working on something together. So you haven't got just one or two people coming back in trying to make change, and that can make a real difference. The other thing I think we often get feedback is the benefit of team members getting to know each other better. Even if they've worked together quite closely for a long time, there's a lot of things that you learn during training and development kind of activity that's a bit different than what you do day to day in the business. And they usually will come out saying, we know each other a lot better. We know the different skills and capabilities that people have and can leverage those later on.
Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of like inbuilt like team building and that sort of thing. But also, like you're saying, everyone speaks the same language. They have a common language they can bring back into the business and to bounce off each other and to move things forward, which you don't always see when only one or two people have actually gone on the program or the coaching. So yeah, that's really interesting, guys. How did the Icehouse tailor the solution for the business? Is that what you said maybe at the start, Jo, where it's sitting down and going, what outcomes are you wanting?
Yeah, we have a kind of like a discovery process, don't we, Darilyn, where we'll try and get as much information about the business from the client as we can. So that might include a strategic plan or their past business plan. It might include the organisation chart, and a whole lot of documents like that they may have available that help us get to know the business really well, because the better we understand the business, the more tailored we can be. And then we'll do sort of a high-level design piece and then meet with the client and iterate on that. And we include lots of different elements. We do diagnostics and assessments. We do pre-work, as I mentioned before, and we can often integrate senior other executives or board members into the program as well, so they can hear about elements of the business from somebody else's point of view. And of course, we always kind of roughly stick to the Icehouse 3 circles model, where we've got, we're thinking about how to improve the business itself, how to improve the leadership within the business, but also some personal benefits that people that are attending, they're involved in the process, can derive from going through this as well.
Yeah. Brilliant. Anything to add, Darilyn?
Yeah, I think as the beginning, it's about getting to understand as much as we can about the business, as quickly as we can to tailor something, but also bring in the expertise that Jo and other people who contribute have from working with these sorts of businesses for quite a long period of time. And also we do sort of check in during the process. So I kind of think about it like about 80% of the content is probably fairly well planned when we kick off, but there's room to move that 20% for what's happening with the business and what emerges as you take the group through the program. And our facilitators, again, like Jo, are really very skilled in that flexing and understanding and going where the group needs to go as well.
Yeah, great. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, following from that, what kinds of feedback have you had from clients in the past?
I think that, most of the clients I've worked with are genuinely really delighted with what they get from the process. They get much higher engagement of their people. They get a lot more clarity about what they need to focus on going forward. And they report feeling a real sense of progress. They really like working with us because we just kind of accept where their business is at and we figure out how to move forward from there. Some of them quite like the accountability of the process, and of course they work on elements of their business as we go through. So one business I'm working with at the moment, they're reviewing their values within the workshop, they're revisiting their strategic plan within the workshops and all of those kinds of things that they need to do as a team anyway. They report that the team, team development stuff that we were just talking about before, and the team building is really important. And also they really enjoy it. We have a lot of fun. The style's pretty informal, so that they do get to know one another better and enjoy the journey with the Icehouse.
Yeah, I think that's really important. When you start to say the words like training program or however you call it, leadership program, often people have a bit of a fear around what that's going to be like. Yeah. And so they quite quickly see that, as Jo said, our style is relaxed and informal and all about people having fun while they're learning. And just getting to share more with each other. The other thing we often get is feedback when we involve this more, if it's a sort of senior, the people sponsoring the program, they get the opportunity to see their people in action in a slightly different way and to see the talent that's in the organisation, and that's a real benefit for them as well.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's great, guys. Awesome. Yeah, I honestly personally feel like I know a lot more about it and just how custom it really can be. That discovery process is a massive piece of the puzzle and making sure that what's being delivered works for the business. So yeah, thanks heaps for unpacking that. Darilyn, maybe you want to take this one. Maybe we could both talk to this. How can people learn more?
Jump on the Icehouse website for if you want to have a look around. You can give you a feel for, if you don't know us yet, who we are and what we do. And then you'll have a customer growth partner, so our team who are there at the end of the phone or email ready to help you. So just contact us a number of ways on the website, I would say.
Yep, that's totally it. And I'll make sure that in the caption of this webinar, we put our website link in there, so it's really easy for people. But yeah, would love to have that opportunity to talk more about, you know, what support the Icehouse can bring your business. So thanks both Jo and Darilyn for being on the webinar today.
Thanks, Bryar.
Thanks, Bryar.